Hey guys, just Forsaken Reality here with the 6th episode of the Remnant tutorial series. In this episode, we're going to be setting up the ALS V4 animations and importing them into our project. And I'll also be showing you how to cut up the pose animations. And we'll be also setting up the locomotion for the jogging and sprinting using some of the ALS V4 animations. So without further ado, we will get into that. The first thing we're going to want to do is create a project for Advanced Locomotion V4 in version 4.26 is what I used. And once you do that, you're going to have this basically. So you want to go into your base poses, locomotion. We're going to get all of these right here. Right click, asset actions, migrate, and we're going to keep the footsteps, sounds. We're going to remove these modifiers. We're going to move the notifies, this. We can remove the mannequin, skeleton, keep these animations, remove the materials, meshes, physics assets, and data. So we just have these materials and the footstep sounds. Click OK. We'll go to our project folder, and in our content folder we will select and export those. We also need our secondary motion, just in our overlays and shared. We can asset, migrate, get rid of this, and keep the ALS neutral pose. Get rid of the materials, meshes, physics assets. So we only have these two. And click OK. And we will select the same folder, go to overlays or import A1, and we'll get the poses with no curves. Hold Alt, and you want to click hold Alt or Control, sorry. And we want our run forward. We don't need our arms. Sprint forward. And we're going to take the impulse. We don't need any of the arm animation, so we have these four and the no curves poses. We're going to asset actions, migrate. We don't need this. We don't need the mannequin skeleton, materials, mesh, or physics assets. We only have these four. Okay. And we'll put them in the same folder. And we'll also grab our pistol animations. So we'll get our poses, no curves. Sweep, no, don't need that one. Don't need sweeps, don't need the sweep. We'll get the two-handed one and the one-handed. We'll also get the no curves for both. Right click, migrate, and the same thing, remove this and the skeleton. No materials, no meshes, no physics assets. It's only these two. Double checking, yep. And select the folder and move them over. And I think that should be it for all of our ALS animations. I'm just going to minimize that just to be sure. For audio, we can grab our footsteps and just throw them in our sounds folder. We can just delete this audio folder. We want to go in here, go to our overlays. First, we're going to actually want to go into our Remnant main folder, character animations. These are old rifles. We're going to eventually remove these, but we have them in use at the moment, so I'm just going to type old, and I'm going to create I'm gonna fix up redirectors just in case. Go back. And I'm gonna create a new folder called Rifle Animations. And another new folder called Pistol Animations. Or actually, we already have a Pistols Animations folder. It only has a few in there. So we can use that one on Equip Animations. So basically when we don't have anything equipped, but we're mainly going to be using it for lower body and stuff. So we want to go to our overlay, M4A1. And if you have this problem, you're going to want to reload your project. I'm just going to pause and reload it quick. Okay, now that I'm back, you'll notice that my animations appear there. I don't know why it does that, but every time I migrate the ALS animations, for some reason they're there, but they're not displaying in the engine until I reload it. So now we have our M4A1 animations. And we have our new rifle animations folder. I'm just going to move all of these into the new rifles animations. Pistol, we will move these into the pistol animations. And the shared will just move into unequip animations for the secondary motion. And we will retarget on existing, and this will be our master. ALS secondary motion. Oops, I'm just gonna rename this whole thing to that's what that is. So we have our M4A1 animations moved, we have our pistol animations moved, we have all of our overlays moved, locomotion. So we're just gonna take all these, retarget to our master. And these are our unequipped animations, so it's going to move all of these into the unequipped folder. And I'm just going to delete this ALS. Maybe it won't delete that. I thought there was another one created. I guess not. So we'll go to there. We'll drag this into our unequipped. Fix up redirectors. I think that's all of everything out of these. So we can delete our ALS V4 folder. And we actually have some animations. We go into our rifle animations. And we will retarget on existing skeleton to our master. And our pistol. Same thing. Now I have all of our animations. Save all. Okay. The first thing we're going to do is go to our ALS props M4A1 poses, and it's just flying through a bunch of unanimated poses. So first thing we want to do is we want this idle pose right here. Just going to remove from frame 1 to 13. Then right click again, remove from frame 1 to 2. And it should just spam through the single frozen pose. And actually I did that wrong. Make sure you press Control Z to get back to this. You want to actually duplicate this. And because you're going to want to get multiples out of it, maybe remove them all out of the first one. You won't have it existing for another one. So you want to do this and remove your rifle down. And now we should have that animation. So let's name it that for now. So now we have our first animation pulled out of one of those poses. We are also going to create a unequipped. We're going to go to our unequipped animations, create a new folder called blend spaces, and we are going to create some lower body animations. And we will name this lower body for now. It's gonna, and it's actually going to be the jogging lower body. So in here, we're just going to search ALS neutral run, and then put that in there. First, we're going to set up the direction and speed direction. Negative 180, 180, 8 grid values so we can get a better speed. And 0.2. So then we have that. So back, forward's already in there, left, back, right, back, left, forward, right, forward. So now we can have our full locomotion for going around when we're jogging, and this will just be for our lower body. And if we ever have an unequipped state, I guess we'll rename it to that. I'll just name it blend space jog. Now we're just gonna open up our animation blueprint in our animations folder. The first thing I'm gonna do is show you how to add the additive. So simple to do that, you just type in apply additive and you'll get this node. And the base pose is all of our locomotion, and we will be applying the breathing, which is the secondary motion if you didn't rename it, additive. So compile, you'll notice that he's breathing more. And I'm just going to apply half of that so that it breathes not so crazily. Then we're going to open up our locomotion, and we can simply delete this idle hip in the idle, type in idle down, and we should get our idle pose set up. We have our jog set up as well. We can delete this. We're going to drag out and put layered blend per bone. So we're going to blend between our jog for our lower body, which we can simply get by doing that. So we'll put that in for our base pose, and then we'll blend that with our one second, I gotta figure out which animation this is. Okay. I'm just gonna go to character, rifle animations. I think this is it, yep. So you want to rename this to rifle jog forward. And now we'll blend rifle jog forward in here for the upper body. And because we're just testing this, we can use these values over here to actually see these in this over here. So you see him sprint, he was sprinting and stuff. But we're also going to need to set up our layer blend for bones. So you want to go in here, drop this down. Spine of 1, blend depth of 3. Now when we jog, it will set it like that. And we're gonna select our mesh scale space right there. So now we should be able to idle. We'll have our breathing, and we'll have our jog state. And for sprinting, we only have our forward sprint, which is a little bit of a problem because we're going to want to run directionally, kind of like left and right, forward left and forward right. So to do that, we'll go into our rifle animations, new folder, blend spaces. Oops, that's our sprinting blend space. It's weird when it does that. So we'll just put our this one right here. So that now we're running, but there's no directional, so that if we were to go to our locomotion state and put this in as our new sprint animation, for example, so there's none there, that means we didn't set up that yet. Just putting the values in for this 600.2 interpolation. But it's basically just like there's multiple animations of how fast it decides to blend between from a idle to a jog, or whatever animations are in here for rotation will blend over at a slightly slower speed, so it makes it look a little more fluent. Doesn't just snap instantly, basically. So basically we have this sprint set like this, and we forward right, you see we're like sliding across the land. It looks kind of weird, to me at least. So to fix that, I'm going to change this to rifle sprint forward. Yep, just double checking it. And you want to duplicate it and make it forward left. And I'm going to show you how to key in some frames here. So you want to go back to the very first frame, skeleton, go to your pelvis, and you notice that when this changes to where this is, so you want to set this so the globe is set here so it does it perfectly straight across. And we're doing left, so we're gonna go this way, 45 degrees. Make sure your line down here is on your 0%, and key and apply. So now we have our legs set sideways, and to rotate our body back straight, so we're running sideways, we want to go, I'm just going to go 25 here. Key and apply, make sure it's on 0, it'll stay there as you're going down through them. Spinal 2, 35, 40, key apply, or, yep, and 50. I'm actually going to move this one over to 10 for my spinal 3, and then I'll go back to my spinal 2 and move this one back 1. Because I moved it up 10, but now spinal 2 is only 5 ahead, and this one's 10. So 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Okay. I think that should be enough for that. And we want to do this next one. Duplicate the forward animation again, and we're going to name this one forward right. Instead of rotating the pelvis that way, we're going to rotate it 45 degrees this way. Key and apply, make sure you're on frame 0. Go to your spinal 1. 30. Really good. 35. 40, 45. It's rotated back 45 degrees by the time all of them are added up together. So now we have our forward left and forward right. So now we can search sprint, and we'll get our forward left and put it right there. Forward right, put it right there. You notice now we can sprint left and right. So now when we do that, we won't be drifting across the ground anymore. Our jog, we have our idle. Okay, now that we have that done, if you don't want your character, like when you're walking, he'll like his upper body will start facing the direction you're running, basically. You can simply fix that by rotation space. Now his legs will turn, but his upper body stays like that. We are also going to quickly add in the aim while jogging. So if we're not aiming, we'll just do that. Get our aiming boolean. And if we are aiming, copy this layer blend per bone. Disable this. And first thing we're going to do is go back to our poses, and we're going to go look for our no poses curve. Right click, duplicate. I'm going to create a rifle aimed upper body animation. So you want to look through here, and it's right here. So I'm going to look frame 0 to frame 4. And from 1 to 9. And there we go. We have our rifle aimed. That's going to be our bottom. It's going to be what's blending in. And for the upper body, we're going Duke. I'm going to, you can either use this one so that he'll jog while he's aiming. Also, if you notice, we'll want to fix our idle animation. So we want to move this. So now you want to play rifle aimed here. You notice your rifle's offset a little bit. That's because you just need to rotate your socket a little bit. And to do that, we will go to our Remnant meshes, skeletal, not weapons, our master skeleton. We'll just preview the aimed animation. We want to get our weapon, our socket. rotated 5. Maybe 10. It's not that that's rotated. Huh. One of the weird issues that I was actually getting, it was getting really snappy when I was walking back and forth. That's actually not present in this copy, so that's a good one. So now we have our rifle aimed while walking. In the next video, I'll set up so like when you aim, he'll be jogging, and then he'll zoom in, he'll start walking a little bit slower, because I want to set that up with the camera zoom, because we're going to be dealing with the character blueprint and setting up the camera zoom in there, and that's also where the speed adjustments will be dealt with. So for now, this will do. This should be our outcome right now. It's starting to look decent. That's actually going to be everything for this episode, I suppose. If you have any, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button so you don't miss out on any new tutorial uploads. Also, if you have any questions, suggestions, or comments, feel free to leave those in the comment section below or join my Discord channel. We have a lot of helpful people there, and it's becoming more active. People are becoming more helpful, so I might not be online, but someone else might be there to help you with something. This is actually my second time recording this video now. It's actually slightly shorter than the last time, which is a good one. Thank you, and I will see you all in the next episode.